With where you came from and that culture, the type A, hard charging, performance culture, do you still struggle with your identity in Christ, but also like earning, or has he broke some of that in you? What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Mountain Tough Podcast. I am your host, Dustin Diefendorfer, and CEO here at Mountain Tough, and we are so glad that you are here. We absolutely love seeing you dive into these episodes week after week, and it is our goal every single episode to bring you an inspiring guest that helps you with that mindset, that mental fitness, that mental toughness, so that you can live dangerously, so that you can live this abundant life. And thank you for being here, and thanks for making us one of the top mindset podcasts in the country. If you are brand new to this show, I do want to make sure that you know that as a Mountain Tough podcast listener, you do get an exclusive code for the Mountain Tough app. All you need to do is go to mountaintough.com, click start free trial, and use the code MTNPOD. That's Mountain Pod, and that's going to get you 6 weeks for free on Mountain Tough Plus. Shifting gears now to today's guest. On the show today, we have a very special guest. We had him in person for a couple of days in Bozeman, spent some quality time with him. You'll see that content come out on YouTube as well. But on the show today, we have Eddie Penney. Eddie had a 20-year military career where he served as a United States Marine first, and then he became a Navy SEAL, and then he went to SEAL Team 6. He also is an author of a new book called Unafraid, and it's really an amazing journey as he talks about how he was once scared of Jesus, but now he's fully surrendered to God, and it has led him to become unafraid. We're going to dive into that today. We're going to dive into the challenges he went through in his military career, including at the end of his career at Team 6. He had single custody of his 3 children. So an amazing man, an amazing journey, an amazing conversation. So stand by for Eddie Penney. So you went right from high school on the swim team and then enlisted and went right into the Marines?
So I swam from like 9th grade to junior year. And then senior year, I did nothing besides do drugs, recreational, drank, and was an idiot. And then I did the military thing, which I knew I was going to do the military thing. So I didn't really have to worry too much about like continue at some kind of sport or something. Like I knew I wanted to do the military. Mm-hmm. So that was everything. That was the focus.
You knew you were going to go in.
Mm-hmm, for sure.
Was that from like friends, family, relatives?
Rambo? No, dude, the movies, dude. Man. I say this a lot on the podcast, but that's like, that was it. Like a lot of the movies, Schwarzenegger movies, Van Damage, whatever you want to call it. Just like those movies, I loved it. And I just loved the military stuff. I loved being out in the woods. I loved being outside. Never was like a big hunter. Like my dad didn't take me hunting or we'd do that. I had a BB gun. I just loved it. I know that's what I want to do. And so that was it.
Dude, that is awesome.
Yeah, it was cool.
It's nice knowing that rather than dabbling around.
Yeah, for sure. Like I didn't realize it at the time what a blessing that was. 'Cause man, like that would suck, senior year. Okay, what do you want to do now? I knew, thankfully, it was the military period. I didn't want to go like, money wasn't a driving force. It was just, I want to go serve.
Man. So do you like walk into a recruiter's office right out of high school?
Yeah, in my junior year, actually maybe sophomore year. Might have been my sophomore year or junior year. I went to all of them. I got brochures from all of them. And I wanted to do the SEAL thing just because of like, it's a SEAL thing. It's just like, it looks so cool on the TV and right. Come to find out the things that look cool are not cool. They suck the most. You're wet, you're cold, you're tired, you're sandy, all the things. So I got them all. And I mean, I was thinking about the Green Berets, the Rangers, and that was about it. And a little bit of the Marines. And then my buddy who I swam with, he graduated a year before me. I went to his boot camp down in Parris Island for Marine Corps boot camp. I just fell in love, dude. I was like, okay, I want to do this so bad. And I had no idea what I was even looking at and how much that sucked.
Yeah.
But I did the Marines for 4 years, and then I switched over to the Navy.
Dang.
Yeah, so.
That was probably a good foundation for you.
It was. I had time to mature, got good discipline, which I desperately needed. And then, it helped me a lot, big time.
Yeah, and it probably set you up for success, like going into buds and stuff like that.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because there's some guys that were right out of high school. I remember thinking, like, man, dude, I don't know how I do. I think I was 23 at the time, I think, when I went through, I believe, 23 or 24. So I had some maturity on me.
Did you enjoy that Marine experience? Did you like it?
I did. I liked the culture. I like the culture for the discipline piece, but I think it kind of goes back to that identity thing that we were talking about, like that this is who I am. I am Sergeant. There's so much more to life, man. Mm-hmm. But we just get wrapped up into that, like that rank or those stripes on your sleeve is everything. And I think we're kind of missing it, even in the military with that kind of stuff. You can see it in the police force as well. Everything's backed around that rank. Not that that's not, we need that hierarchy and experience and seniority. But you know what I'm saying? It's like, do as I say, not as I do kind of thing. Yeah. There's a little bit of that.
Yeah, we really kind of got into some of that identity stuff this morning, and it's crazy how strong identity can be as a driving force in our life. And as we were driving home from our activity this morning, it was like, yeah, man, we know that if that's ripped away from you, you could completely crash and burn. Because if your whole identity is I'm a fitness guy and you get hurt, or it's a hunter and you get hurt, or if it's you see it a lot in professional sport, like if your whole identity is I'm a great football player and all of a sudden you blow out your knee, that can really devastate you. At the same time, it is wild how powerful of a psychological force it is. There's a well-known study around the power of identity for certain goals you want to reach. So like in the 80s and 90s, when a lot of Americans were trying to quit smoking, they said to a bunch of people that had quit cigarettes for a couple weeks, they had them walk into parties and bars, and they said, if anyone offers you a cigarette, you say no thanks. And that population was 92% likely to start smoking again. And then they had the second group that had recently quit, that when they walked into parties and bars, they said, if anyone offers you a cigarette, I want you to say, I'm not a smoker. And the people that said, I'm not a smoker, were like 70% likely to never smoke again the rest of their life. And so you think about kind of like our conversation this morning around identity and how it can be this massive negative, but also from that smoking example, it can be this extreme positive, especially if you can get to that point where like my identity is in Christ. If that's your identity, and then everything else is just like a profession or an occupation, it can be a really powerful positive force at the same time.
Yeah, I think it's important, especially for listeners, not to think like you shouldn't strive and have a drive to do X, Y, and Z, but that should not consume you. And that's what happened to me in the SEAL community, is everything was Navy SEAL. Everything was Navy SEAL. I remember walking around. I'm like, I'm a Tier 1 operator. I'm supposed to act whatever I thought I was supposed to act. Not the right way, I'll tell you that. And when that was stripped away, when I got custody of my children, and I was no longer operating, I was no longer doing the things that I like craved to do and trained to do and spent years and years, building up to do it. And I had to be a dad of 3 children. I was like, I'm lost, man. I was so lost. And that was a horrible feeling. Like that, I was not a man. I was not a man. The world would say I was a man. I was not a man. I was not a man. I felt like a little child.
Coming out, walking into just being at home with those kids.
That's a big deal. I have a whole new respect for like the parent that stays home or homeschooling or single parents. Like that was tough. That was the hardest thing I think I've ever done.
How did you get to that moment in your life? I guess moving forward now to that, what kind of led to the circumstances of single custody of 3 children?
Yeah, so I was going through a divorce because I was kind of doing whatever I wanted. She was kind of doing whatever she wanted. It was chaos. And we had no roots in a church or in being a Christ follower or anything. Nothing. I just wanted to be a rock star team guy and go work hard and then come back and party harder. And that was it, work out and just do the thing, right? But I thought was, I'm serving the country. I'm doing the right things, obviously. But my family was back burner and I had children at home and I thought I was there for them. I think I was physically there, but like I was very checked out. But we ended up separating and, it came to court where I I was okay with her going out to Tennessee where her family was because the picture was sold like, hey, I'm going to go out there. I'm going to get my degree. I'm going to get back on my feet and they can help watch the kids while I do this. And I was always deploying and going on trips. I was like, you know what? That's awesome. Like that's great. I totally support that. I think it's wonderful. I was like, just let me see them when I can. And we did a lot of training out there in the Memphis area. And as soon as she went, dude, I sent the email. My lawyer was fine with it. Everything. I'm like, this is good. And because I want my kid's mom to succeed. I want her to do well.
Yeah.
And soon as that email came through, dude, radio silence. I wasn't able to talk to my kids. I wasn't able to see them. So, I mean, we lawyered up more and then went to court. She painted this beautiful picture. And the judge, I was just trying to get her to come back to Virginia Beach. The judge was like, you're good where you are, because she painted this picture that I caused her, right? It's the other person that's making me do all these things. And we did a drug test at the end, and she lied, saying she didn't do anything, and she failed.
Dang.
So everything she said did not matter. So they told her to come back. She refused. Eddie, go get your kids.
Wow.
And overnight, I became Mr. Mom.
Which is rare. I mean, it's rare.
Very rare.
It's rare for the dad to get that single custody like that.
And scary.
Yeah.
Very scary. More scary than rare.
So were you still in when that happened, or were you out?
Yeah, I was slated to go to Afghanistan 3 weeks later. And I had the hair was long, beard, attempted a beard. And my command, I kept them informed on everything. I'm like, hey, and no one thought I was going to get the kids. Like I was a kid. Like no one thought this. And I got custody of the kids. I was like, I can't deploy. And they were so cool. The command was so cool with me. Like, hey, dude, just figure out how to be a dad. And if we need you back here to help with like family stuff, like I got it. I'll do whatever you guys need me to do. They were so cool, dude. They were so cool.
Man.
And just tried to not kill my kids or myself that like first few months, man. It was rough, dude.
How old were they then?
So at the time, my oldest daughter was 10. Then my next daughter, Samantha, she was 5. And then my son, Tristan, he was 10 months old. So in diapers.
And you're just living in Virginia Beach trying to figure all this out.
It didn't feel like living, but yeah.
Dude, that's a complete shock to the system.
Complete. I mean, especially when you're like used to deploying with the boys, going overseas, going on trips, like doing some cool adrenaline stuff, and then now you're stuck at home. It's like you're not even seen anymore. Yeah. And that's where it's like, dude, I'm alone. Like these poor kids. Like I did, dude, just the feeling alone of not knowing what to do, like what to do with them, what to feed them, how to bathe them, what do they need, clothes, like hair, the things. It was all coming in like a flood, like just a flood. And had to like just go through it all. So it was rough, man.
Now with some time between then and now, do you look at that season of life and see big blessings in it?
Oh, 100%. It was the greatest thing that ever happened to me. I mean, they like saved my life for sure. And I talked about that in the book is they saved my life, man. Like it really made me not at first, but after like seeing things, because I'm used to like, I can talk to dudes, be like, yo, dude, quit doing that. And like, there's no, we're good.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do that with the 2 little girls and a kid in diapers. You can't just talk the same way.
Yeah.
And after some tears and like head scratching and whatever, it made me look at myself. And that's where like kind of Christ started coming in. Because I had no idea what I was doing, dude. I had no clue who I was. You know, you back to the thing, you know, if you are what you do and what you do is lost, who are you? Because I was a Navy SEAL. The Navy SEAL thing was put over here for the moment. And I had no clue who I was. No clue who I was as a dad. No clue who I was as a man. And I didn't know how to be a good father for those kids at all.
Man.
I mean, they'd probably tell you something different. They'd like talk about the good times and like, because we had a lot of great things, but you know, they weren't in the turmoil that was up in my brain.
It's really fascinating because you think about your life and you go Marine and then you go SEAL teams and then you go DEVGRU, and you think about from the outside looking in, an individual like that has all these skills. They have extreme like physical and mental toughness. They have the adventure and adrenaline that a ton of men are looking for. They don't have as many potentially like complacency and passivity problems as some men are struggling with now. But then you still can kind of walk into this season of life where you are completely lost and you are crashing and burning, where from the outside, like from the civilian world, we would look at an individual like yourself being like, this guy's got it all. He has it all. Like he's doing these amazing things at this amazing place. And then you're sitting there just completely lost.
Whitewash tombs, dude.
Dude, it's crazy.
It is. It is. Because I thought when I was in my comfort zone operating, I got it all figured out. But when that's stripped away and it's time to step up, I didn't have my stuff together at all. I didn't have it, not at all.
It does make me think that like the Lord can really kind of like make the house of cards fall down to wake people up.
100%, and he did, and still does.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. In some area, and then, but like that's the whole thing of realizing like just the caring, you know, the mercy, the grace, the love piece that's going into that to build me up to be stronger is nuts. Like if I was how I am today back then, it'd be like a cakewalk. It would be like, really, this is what you're giving me? Like, this is easy. Like, give me 3 more kids. You know what I mean? It wouldn't be a big deal. I would take that back. We'll just do it the 3. We'll just do the 3 kids.
Yeah.
Not 3 more. But it was, just how he not grooms you, but grows you. It is awesome. It is so awesome. And I was such a naysayer, and there's no way, and just so much doubt, disbelief, because I'm used to seeing worldly things. I'm used to talking worldly. I'm used to being surrounded by worldly guys,
mm-hmm.
you know, and they don't promote it.
That's really,
because they don't know it.
Yeah. It's so true though. Cause when we run into these walls in life, they feel like a ceiling, but then every time you look back at these huge adversity moments we run into, it is 100% of the time for me in my personal life, it's God building us in our capacity. And then you come out of that, and when you're in it, you don't think you should be there. But when you come out of it on the other side, you have a whole different level of capacity than you did before.
Yeah.
And if you don't go through those moments, then you're living in a small world and you're living a small life.
Isn't it kind of the same with our workouts?
Mm-hmm. Right?
Like the beginning of the workout, things aren't firing off correctly. Then you get warmed up, and then you're getting smoked. And afterwards, you're like, dude, that was an awesome workout. And then as you progress through the workouts, you're getting stronger, you're getting faster, you're getting better. I mean, I always tell that to like, I use it like with cops and even like military. If I go back to BUDS, SEAL training, like day one, my knowledge base based off of 30 days in, 60 days in, 90 days in to 6 months done, each step, I'm learning so much more. I'm getting stronger, and I'm getting beat down. I'm getting cold. I'm getting wet. I'm getting sandy. I'm learning how to use firearms, explosives, and you're just getting boom, 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 and you're turning into this. You're getting morphed into this operator.
Mm-hmm.
The Lord's doing the same thing with us
Spiritually.
if you're willing. If you're like, hey, put me in, coach. I mean, it's not. I think that's where a lot of men are missing it, is because we have other people in churches like we talked about, is kind of like, hey, here's the sugar coated version. This is it right here. This is Jesus right here. When actually, like, Jesus is like, no, dude, I'm not in any box. I'm out of the box. You put yourself in a box. This religion put you in a box. These false beliefs put you in a box. That's not it. That's not it. Like the power and authority and freedom freedom alone. Do we really understand freedom in this country? We don't. We think we do. We don't. Just because we get to shoot off fireworks on July 4th doesn't mean we're the land of the free, because we're still slave to gluttony and our fast food and all the sweets that we see. We're big pharma, or whatever prescription, whatever we want to call it. Addictions like with booze, drugs, porn, you name it. I mean, we can just go down the list, right?
Materialism.
For sure. Right.
Comfort.
Gossip. I mean, just like it goes on and on like that. We all have our little outlets, and you got to destroy it. And that's like, when that's destroyed and you don't have to rely on that's true freedom. And we live in a place that doesn't understand it. I know I didn't understand it for the longest time until I was did my best to surrender it all. Like, I can't do this. Like the word, like just saying, I can't do this alone. Please take it and show me and guide me. It was like a 180, dude. It was a complete humble yourself, submit, and resist.
It's crazy how the Lord will chase someone down too, because that's like a big part of your story. From what I know right now, like, you grew up in an American family, but not a strong Christian family.
Correct.
And then you weren't exposed to much Christianity in the Marine Corps. And then you weren't exposed to much authentic Christianity in the teams or at Team 6. And so the Lord had to chase you down through all of that to eventually get you to wake up. Like, he chased you for a long time, man. For
sure. Yeah, that's so funny you said the Marine Corps. And I believe the motto is God Country Corps or something, or God Corps Country or something like that. But no one ever talks about God. Because not many people know God. They think they know God because they say, yeah, I believe. Okay, what do you believe? Because I believe actually means like to rely on, to put all your eggs in the basket, right? I'm going all in.
Surrender.
And they don't know what that means. I know, again, and I'm not throwing stones at anyone. I used to be in that category, and realizing how lukewarmish I was at best compared to what he will do and show you and bless you and protect you with when you go all in, night and day. And our society, especially this Western culture, we're missing it. And I'm going to go big and say 90% plus of the churches in this country, they're missing it.
Yeah.
They're missing it.
Yeah, it's like the American, we are Christians because we are American, or we're Christians because we go to church on Christmas and Easter.
Yeah, I have it on my profile on Instagram, dude. I'm a Christian.
Yeah.
I follow Christ.
But there's no relationship.
It's like, cool. Rock on, man. Okay, what does that mean? I mean, it's like, it's so true. Like, you'll be a new creation. Are you doing the same things? And a lot of people are like, yeah. Okay, I don't believe you've met our Savior.
If you're doing the same
thing.
thing.
Because it's like you said, if you have a complete change, complete heart change, your life is different. And you'll know them by their fruit, their works. It's not like we have to work to get that mercy or get that grace. But he's in me now, so my walk is different. Like, it's not the same as that guy that died. It's not, that guy makes me want to vomit. There is a change. I mean, we're told you were once doing all these not okay things of the flesh, but now you do this. Doesn't mean we don't stumble. Doesn't mean we don't fall. Doesn't mean we're perfect. Because none of us are good. None of us are perfect. Only God is good. And there's no like this, if I do X, Y, and Z, then I'm a good Christian. That's not how it works.
Yeah, it's
right?
not transformation,
Yeah,
born again.
That's not it. That's not it.
Dead with like the old ways.
Yeah.
How do you think it started for you? Like, how did this transformation start? Like, you come out of the teams, you're retired, and that's right around this journey, this spiritual journey started for you.
So I probably had about 2 years left before I retired. I was out and doing a non-deployable unit, like a coordinator kind of recruiting thing for Spec Ops community. And I went to that Wild at Heart that John Eldridge puts on, but it was from a satellite church. And I went to that, and it was kind of an ultimatum for the relationship I was in. So it was kind of like, okay, sure, I'll go. And I was a naysayer. I was like, I don't want this Jesus stuff. I don't want this. This is ridiculous. And I just started seeing guys like they would just start talking, like they were showing. He was really good showing, father wounds, like the heart of a man, like things that I really didn't know anything about. I never heard about it, right?
Yeah.
We don't know what we don't know. And all that thing, and like how we're built to be the hero, and John talks about this all the time. He's really good about it, and how females are like kind of like the princess to be rescued, stuff like that. And he was describing how like movies, you've got your hero, you've got your villain, and you've got a love story, which is the same thing as a Bible.
Yeah.
And I was like, he's like, think about a movie. So I'm like, I'll prove you wrong, buddy, because my pride's taking over. And I'm like, trying to think of a movie. I'm like, I can't think of a movie. It's so true. There is a hero, there is a villain, and there's like some kind of love story.
And all the great movies.
And all of it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. And then he's like showing Braveheart, and he's showing like
Star Wars.
Yeah, like all these movies like that I never viewed it through that lens. And I just started seeing that. I'm like, okay, there's something here. Like, okay, maybe there is something to, and I don't mean this any disrespect, but like to this Jesus character. I didn't know he was, when he came down, full man, full God. I didn't understand it. I was only knew what I was given or would pay attention to, which was a very weak man, to be quite honest with you. Petting a lamb under a tree in shade, right? Because maybe the sun was too hot. I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's not who he is. And then I prayed earnest, like with my whole heart. And just like sun was coming up and like started hitting me over the trees when I was by myself in this field. And it's just like warmed my body, not like a natural sunlight does. And I just like started crying, started tearing up. And I'm like, okay, let's wipe this up before I see people, right? Pride again. And like a couple more things happened through that weekend. And that was like the beginning of it all, was that right there. But after a few days, maybe a week or two, like it just kind of almost went back to normal. Like it was still in my mind more, like there was a seed, but I wasn't walking what the Bible, like the commandments or the relationship or, that change of heart. Like I was still struggling very much so. Like I'd like, okay, cool. If I'm not supposed to do this, why is this so darn hard? Like I didn't understand that my flesh and the spirit are battling it out every day, every second of the day. I didn't understand the enemy and what that looks like and the tactics and the schemes. I didn't get it. But I went to church and, I had my high seasons, my low seasons, real low seasons, but, drinking was still going on, going to the internet was still going on. Like I was still in bondage. And then probably I'd say, and I'd have times, I'd say probably 5 or 6 years, maybe 7 years ago, I quit drinking. And I was but I only quit for I think it was 10 months. But there was something, like the Bible started coming alive more, stuff like that. And then I broke again. And there was just still something like pulling me in. And then 3 years ago, I had a suicidal thought working out of my gym, which I've had before. And I'm like, I'm like, how am I here again? Like, I don't understand.
Back to this point.
Yeah. It's like, when is enough enough? And, dude, I raised my white flag. I was like, I can't do this. I was like, I cannot do this without you. Like, and I don't want you when it's convenient for me. I don't want you when it's other people are looking. I need you to take it all. I want you when I'm in the shower, when I'm going to sleep at night, when I'm waking up, when I'm working out, when I'm at work, when I'm walking my dogs, when I'm making love to my wife. I want you present in all things in my life. I need that. I need you to do that, please. And it was like this like massive peace came over me when I was just contemplating putting a barrel in my eye socket,
dude.
And I'm like, I know I'm supposed to stop drinking. Like, I'm like, please take it away from me. And I text my wife. I was like, babe, and then some other things built up on this stuff. But I texted my wife. I was like, babe, I think I'm done drinking. And she comes out into the garage and she's teary-eyed, and I did not know this. At that moment, that same minute, she was in our closet, like face down, praying for like just relief, I guess you could say, for just whatever she was praying for, like just that this needs to end. And I'm like, and we just started hugging, and man, I was just like,
man, she's praying for you a little bit too.
Yeah, for sure. And then, so from that day, that's been about, I think it's been about 2 years and 10 months from that day. From that day, and I believe like I heard from him, like for me to start talking about him, which is another mind-blowing thing. I'm like, you want me to do what? Everything started making sense. That was like the block. It was like a block that was stopping me from things that he wanted to show me. It was stopping me from like revelation. It was stopping me from certain spiritual gifts. It was stopping me to really do good, for him to do wonderful things through me for the kingdom.
The drinking was a big part of it.
It was a huge part for me. I'm not saying that everyone should, I'm not saying that, but for me, that wasn't supposed to do it. I'm not supposed to do it. So I don't, because I don't want to lose what I have with him. That's way more important than any earthly thing, period. And then we just started showing me certain things supernaturally in words of knowledge, and just mind-blowing things that I thought were made up.
Like a movie or something.
Yeah, just like, yeah. But it's true, because it's in the book. It's right there.
Hey guys, I did want to interrupt for a quick minute right here and let you know about some supplements I've been taking. I did shy away from supplements for a long time. I was always cautious about what they were made out of, where they were from, and who the team was behind the brands. But over the last couple of years, I've got to meet the team at Mountain Ops from top to bottom, and they are an amazing group of humans. I've got to know the CEO, Trevor Farnes, really well, and he is a mission-focused individual that cares about humans living a better quality of life so that they can have that abundant life. So over the last couple of years, he has helped me add some things that have changed the game for me. One of those things that I've added is creatine from Mountain Ops. It helps me maintain some muscle mass, but also it's a big player in cognitive function, one of the most researched supplements out there. Also, I've added reds, greens, and protein, all from Mountain Ops. What I found as a busy professional, always on the run, I do eat a whole foods diet for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but on the go, it's hard to get enough vegetables, fruits, and protein. So I've added that from Mountain Ops, and it has significantly changed the game. I can feel it in my performance. I haven't got sick for a long time, and I can certainly feel it in my mental clarity as well. The last thing I've added is the Mountain Tough Hydrate product for the backcountry, for hunting season. When I'm in the hills, I do run short on those electrolytes. We even have a Mountain Tough flavor, the Mountain Tough Lemon Lime Hydrate. and that is a game changer for hydration in the backcountry. So I keep it really simple. That is all I've added to my protocol, and it has certainly helped me, and I certainly believe in the team and the culture behind Mountain Ops. They have started an initiative that's been around for a while called Conquer Hunger. Conquer Hunger is giving meals to hungry kids that aren't getting enough food, and they've given out over 6 million meals plus to kids through their Conquer Hunger initiative. So every order that happens at Mountain Ops, a percentage of that order goes to Conquer Hunger. So certainly an incredible company, an incredible culture. As a listener to the show, you do get an exclusive offer to Mountain Ops, so make sure you check that out. The offer is incredible as a first-time purchase at mountainops.com. So build your order if it's your first time. They are offering you a 20% exclusive discount. All you need to do is enter the promo code MOUNTAINTOUGH, all one word, all caps, for 20% off your first order at mountainops.com. So if you think about like a guy that knew you, a guy that you worked with like 12 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
That you
don't know me.
see now.
They don't know me.
They're probably like, what is up with Eddie, dude?
Yeah, I hear it quite often. I'm just not the same guy.
Mm-hmm.
And because the other guy died. He died. It doesn't mean that I don't struggle with certain things. It doesn't mean my flesh doesn't come in. It doesn't mean that I'm perfect. Far from it. I mean, but I know that I need to run to him for my protection. I know I need to run to him for my guidance. I know I need to run to him when I feel X, Y, and Z. Like, okay, because he's my anchor. He's the truth. What he says goes. If we're smart, instead of playing on every feeling, every emotion. If it doesn't line up with truth, and it's just that, a feeling and emotion, which we have, I don't know how many a day. A lot.
And I imagine, like with what you have gone through now, there's probably like a big craving that you wish you would have found this like a authentic relationship with the Lord like 25 years ago.
Yeah.
And I
would.
Because I think that, that's one of the big questions is like, how do we help other guys get there quicker so they're not getting there later in life? How do we help guys?
Doubt. You said that, and the first word that just popped up in my mind is doubt. There's a lot of doubt because the world has an arrow pointing every other direction besides to him. Everything does. It doesn't point to that. I mean, look at our commercials. Look at our TV shows. Listen to the songs. Listen to the way that people talk. Listen to the way people treat each other. It doesn't point to him. It points to the other guy, darkness. And you're on one of two teams. There's not like I haven't picked my team yet. No, there's two teams. And if you're not serving him, you picked your team. And people don't get that. They really don't understand. They doubt things. And again, we don't know what we don't know. And a lot of churches and whatever you want to call them, spiritual mentors or whatever we want to call them, they're giving us half of the truth. They're giving us the feel goodies. They're not giving us, hey, here's our battlefield. Here's what's kind of going on. And he can take care of it all. We just got to run to him. We got to run to him. We got to run to him. We got to run to him. It's not about what I can do. It's about what I can do with him.
Yeah.
What he can do through me.
You're spot on for sure with that one. My wife and I have had the chance to work in Ethiopia, and then we had the chance to live in Uganda, and both of them are struggling with third world poverty,
right.
Millions of orphans in both countries. But both countries, they worship God, the Christians there, at a whole different level than Americans. And it is off the charts amazing. Like the worship in Uganda where we were working, we worshiped every morning as the sun came up, every morning as the sun went down, and then you would also be back in there on Sunday. But you praised the Lord as you woke up, and you praised the Lord before you went to bed. Like song, dance, you'd be like dancing so hard you're like covered in sweat, and it's like authentic and real. And over there, if they don't see God show up, a lot of times they aren't going to make it. And so they need God to show up every single day. And a lot of times that's like providing protection or providing food. The prayer around daily bread is like real and tangible over in a lot of like third world environments for a lot of people. Like they don't know what they're going to eat tomorrow and where that's going to come from. And so they see that provided again over and over and over again. And so the way they worship is so emotional. Mm-hmm. And I remember being over there one time, and there was another American over there, and I was like, "Hey, why don't you think this happens like this in America? What we're seeing right now, people just like falling on their knees, so thankful to have a relationship with God." And he's like, bro, he's like, the devil has Americans right where he wants them. He's like, he's got them exactly where he wants them. Like, they are distracted. They're on their phones. They're in traffic. They're looking for the next most comfortable mattress, most comfortable couch, a bigger TV. Yep. Like they're so distracted with
comfortably miserable.
And like Spurgeon says, our affluence or our affliction can kill us. So like that's what we're seeing is in America, we're being killed by our affluence, while some other places they're being killed by affliction. Mm-hmm. But it's crazy how it's just like you have to be very countercultural and intentional as an American to really keep your eyes on the Lord every day.
Yeah, and it's hard. I mean, and I'm sure you're probably same category. Like our circle is not very big. Like we don't have the same friends as we did before. We're very cautious of who we let in because there's a price tag to that stuff. Like, it's okay. It's just a little bit. Okay, cool. Let me take an eyedropper full of poop and put one drop in your glass of water. Are you going to drink your water? No. I don't want that crap in my life, in my family's life. No. I mean, that's how it works. It just starts just a little bit. Just a little bit. There's the temptation.
That's a good analogy.
You know what I mean? It's like we don't see it like that. Like, well, everyone else is doing it. We justify it, right? Dudes are the best at that. I mean, this guy's doing it, justify, What do you say? Yeah. And I just saw it on TV, by the way, too. So it's obviously acceptable. And we're told, don't do what the world does. Do the opposite. And that is a hard thing to grasp and to walk out. I mean, we've got like our kids, we have restriction with electronics and certain times, and we'll hear all the time, well, so-and-so's parents let them do this, or so-and-so's parents can let them do that. I'm like, I'm sorry. And you look like the bad guy. But that's how we should be raising our children. We're so, you always hear this. What's up with this generation? Okay.
What's up with the parents?
What's up with the parents of the generation before that set the stage for that generation that we're complaining about right now? Mm-hmm. Ask yourself that question. Hold up the mirror, dude. We don't do that. It's so easy to like, look at them over there. No, dude, look at yourself. You want change? Look at yourself. We don't do that. It's so easy to look at you. No, I need to be looking at myself.
Yeah.
You can see that in marriages. Yeah, I can't believe the way she's acting. I'm like, okay, cool. How am I acting?
The mirror example that you talked about this morning is perfect. Like, can we put that in front of our face?
Yeah.
And talk about our biggest fears, our biggest doubts.
Yep. And when you say them out loud and you see yourself saying it, it changes the thing. It changes it a little bit. Kind of hits a little bit deeper. Mm-hmm. You sound ridiculous on some of it,
When did you kind of start thinking about building your brand and your book around the title Unafraid? Like, where did the thesis of that come from?
That's so funny. I got to laugh because God is so cool. the whole, it wasn't Unafraid. It was something around that. Cause the seed was playing in my mind as I heard on the radio. It was during when Biden and Trump were running for the first time. I guess it would only be one time. And they were saying that on the radio station, like 60-something% of people are afraid to talk about what political party they support. And I'm like, that is the dumbest thing. Why do we care so much about what that guy or that girl thinks? Why? Like, that influences so much of our people's lives. They don't even realize it. And so I was driving like shortly after that, and the song by Skillet, Lions, came on. And it said, like, we are unafraid. And it was like, dude, I got like zapped with a lightning bolt. I was like, whoa, unafraid. Like, that's what it's supposed to be, unafraid. So I just did a t-shirt, the one that I handed off to you this morning, just the Unafraid shirt. That was it. And people liked it. And then we just started making more, started doing like the hats and started like the wristband, and just like started going off. Cause I'm like, what are we supporting? You see a lot of people supporting this baseball team, this football team, this brand of beer, or whatever it is. You know what we have, what we wear, all that stuff. I'm like, we need to be offensive about like getting positive things out there. And so that's kind of where it started. And the book started, it wasn't even supposed to be Unafraid. That was actually Keith's idea, the co-writer, Keith Wood. He's amazing. And that's where that started right there. So everything just kind of became Unafraid. That was the word. And that was like God-given for sure, because I had no idea what it was going to be. And like I heard that, it's just like there's just something about it when I heard it, which is, I've felt that before, had similar experiences. I'm like, all right. And then, so I was like, so I go back to Eddie's way, and like everything was mindset, growth mindset, right? Not fixed, growth mindset. Like, and so I started reading all the mindset books and all the things. And slowly but surely, I remember being in our shipping room, and I was just like looking around, and I started noticing like crosses and faith things, and like everything pointed to him. And this is the truth. I didn't even realize it. I just like broke down. I like dropped to my knees on like, and again, it was me resisting, still trying to do it my way, still trying, and this is still trying to cater to the world, what I think the world wanted to do. But he was doing his thing, and we're like, actually, we're going to go this way. And I was like, dude, I don't want to be against you. I'm with you. What do we got? And he just, all right, and faith it, like it, we're talking about you. It's about you. Yeah. It's about you. Like it's about you. It's not about me. Just, I want to be involved. So use me, but may it all point back to you. I'm irrelevant. He's everything.
And that was even after he kind of grabbed you and wrecked you, right?
Like half dozen times.
Yeah.
But that's just like his like love. Dude. It's like, I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you. And it's not like there wasn't seasons of like crickets. Where are you? That's not what I'm saying. Yeah. But like being on, I'm listening to my best of ability and to be obedient to what your will is, not my own. I'm here for it, even though a lot of it, to be quite honest, it doesn't make sense sometimes. But I trust him over me.
Dude, I love it so much because it's actually been a theme of Mountain Tough this year. It's been a theme of a lot of the guests we've brought on. It's been a theme of stuff that I've been going through. It's been a theme of a lot of the Mountain Tough community where you can kind of see where God's calling them to different things, but they're still scared to take that step. Yeah. So we've been kind of like diving into this fear topic this year in this season. And it's pretty wild, man, because in my life, I definitely have multiple times have had God hit me with like a 2x4 and say, like,
a holy 2x4,
the holy 2x4, dude. And he said, like, hey, you thought you were doing this over here. I need you to do X, Y, and Z over here. And we've had a couple of those big ones where I felt it. I saw it. I got the affirmation from it, and then I went for it, or my wife and I went for it, and they've always been big, massive things. Like your parents think you're insane, your family thinks you're insane, your friends, that makes no sense to them, and we've gone for them, and it's been the best, most amazing, coolest adventures ever. And it doesn't look like it's going to work out, but it always works out, and it always leads to something else.
Mm-hmm.
And it always leads you to where you're supposed to be, but they never make any sense.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that that's what God is doing to a ton of other men. And I think like more than ever before right now, there seems to be an awakening of like the warrior man. There's an awakening of like men in this country where God's really trying to get a hold of them and shake them. And I think that that's for a reason.
Yeah.
That's probably for a big, big reason. But at the same time, with the conversations I've had, you can have a lot of conversations and the dude's like, yeah, I feel God calling me to do this, or I think God's calling me to do this, to quit this job, to move to this location, and they just won't do it. And you're like, man, dude,
they're missing it.
You got to do it.
You got to do it.
And it's like,
you got to do it.
So the Unafraid, I love it. It's like, how do we get guys to live that? And I think for me, once I did it once, I can't wait to do it again.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like, give me another one.
Yeah, because there's the test.
Yeah.
That sometimes the teacher's not talking.
Mm-hmm.
I gave it to you. All right, I'll take it. It's so funny you say that, is like we're called, or we hear it, we know, right? But our logic comes in, right? And it reminds me, like when you said that, of like when Moses was coming out of Egypt with all the Hebrews, and they got to the Red Sea. God wasn't like, hey, here's what's going to happen. You're going to leave here, and then when you get to the Red Sea, don't worry, it's going to be parted. You're going to walk through, and then they're going to come in behind you, and then I'm going to like destroy them all. So go. That's not what happened.
No idea.
We walked down through the wilderness, and then we get to this thing called the Red Sea, and people are griping and grumbling. Now what do we do? And now we get to see the miracle. When you get there, we don't get the playbook all the time, which I would like the playbook, to be completely honest. I'm sure you would as well. Like, here's step 1 through 14. But that's oftentimes not how it is. Like, hey, I'm bringing you here. Let's see if you're obedient and willing. Okay, good job. All right, let's move on.
Dude, I love that, because the conversations I've had this year with a lot of men is that's exactly what's going on. They hear God calling them to do this amazing thing, this scary thing, this thing that's going to make a huge difference for the kingdom in one way or the other. And every time they're like, bro, I just need more clarity. I need more clarity. Like, is this really the thing? And I'm like, God's not going to give you the clarity, man. It's like we got to run on faith.
Yeah.
Like, that's what he wants us to run on.
Yeah.
And you know how boring life would be if we had clarity all the time?
Yep, for sure.
So that's exactly what's going on.
That's how it was when I told you I took that year off. Like, I was doing the events, which I like just doing this ministry thing and talking about him is like very abnormal for me. Mm-hmm. It is like, talk about like putting you in uncomfortable positions. I'm like, dude, I don't have the best track record. Like, you've seen it all. And so like that's like, to start talking about him was like kind of that like leap of faith. And like, if you got me and you're going to teach me and show me and, allow the Holy Spirit to, guide, I'm all for it. But that was hard to do. And I think that's very hard. But that year, like, I was just like, I was doing all the things. I was, we had our Patreon and we were having weekly calls, and it was like dudes were quitting drinking. Like, it was like there was fruit in it. And I was like mind blown. It was awesome. And then I just started hearing, stop talking. Like, don't do it anymore. And I had to go through, I need confirmation. So I would get another one, but I'd be like, it's kind of like not really confirmation. And I'm not, this is no lie. I'm like, Lord, I feel like I need I need a note. I need you to give me a letter. What do you want me to do? I'm confused. I'm hearing from this and confused. And like the enemy's coming in and all the things. And I met with my wife, her friend. They met with this lady who, one of the things she does, her ministry, she'll come to the house, kind of cleanse it, bless it, anoint it, all that stuff. And she told me about it. I was like, I'm in. Like, I'm all in. Like, how do we go higher? And so she came over, and this lady did not know me, no clue. And we were talking. I like met her, and she's an older lady, and she's like, after we do this, she's like, I need to talk. And she looks at me, and she's like, and I need to talk to you alone.
Oh man,
I was like,
dude,
oh boy, it was like,
oh,
and so we go, and I'm like, oh boy, so we're going around, we're praying over the house and anointing all the stuff, and then we do our thing. We go into my office, and she's like, I started hearing from the Lord about you a couple weeks ago, and I started writing what I would hear on these Post-its.
Dude.
And I'm getting chill. And she's telling me this. I'm like, shut up.
Dude.
Like, you can't make this stuff up.
Yeah.
And she's like, but after about like a dozen Post-its, she's like, I just had to write on a piece of paper. She handed me 9 pages in a note.
Dude.
From our Father. And what was in those 9 pages, there's no way she could have known about it. My wife didn't even know about some of these things. A lot of these things were right up here. Things I was struggling with, like what to do. You know what I mean? Like, what's the next step? Like, because I'm trying to do the right thing.
Yeah.
You know, but the enemy knows some things. You know what I mean? Trying to throw all this crap and distractions, and man's got their opinion about everything. And so I was like, I got that. And I was like,
that's insane, dude.
I'm done. I shut down our Patreon, which I did not want to do. I stopped speaking, which I did not want to do. And I'm like, you called me to do this, and I didn't understand it. I didn't get it. I didn't get it for months. I mean, after I went through the butt hurt season, I was like, okay, what are we doing? And he started training me more. And he started pointing me to watch certain things, listen to certain things, talk to certain people, pray on certain things, fast for certain things. Like, he took me through like a crucible of like praying for dreams. And then he started revealing, which I kind of touched on a little bit.
Yeah. Like
learning his love, which was a huge one for me, because I would always be like, okay, we got enough love in church. Let's go back to like fighting things. You know what I mean? And I was kind of, not that I was speaking things wrong. My mindset it needed to be a little bit tweaked.
Yeah.
And that's what he did. So for a year we did that, and it finally opened it back up to me. So we just started getting it back in. But like, it was the coolest relationship building thing I have ever experienced in my life. And it's like, I'm like, you're so true to your word.
Oh, she brings in those notes about you, dude.
She slid that to me. I was like, are there cameras in my mind and in my heart?
It's so cool.
Like, and like, none of that is all real. Like, I could not believe it. Like, the way it was worded, it was like piercing to my mind and soul, into my mind and my heart. It was like just whoosh.
She's just getting words for some guy she hasn't even met yet.
Yeah, she's like, what you do with this is 100% up to you. And I'm like, what I'm going to do with it is whatever you tell me. Like, because it was confirming everything I was praying for. It was the note in one. And like, so there was like many confirmations. And a lot of things I really didn't understand, what we just alluded to. I didn't get it. But I was like, okay, all right. And I would get in that year of, I called my wilderness, but I was never left alone. I actually felt more connection then than I ever have in my life. And just when I was like, the doubt would creep in, it's always going to be, you know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about. I think everyone knows what I'm talking about. I would just get a message of affirmation from just an unlikely source. And I was like, God, you are just like, how how
so
you
cool.
don't play in the box. You're just like kind of just.
Yeah.
You are it.
You talked about a little bit this morning in the truck, but for listeners to know, I think it's important that you kind of walk through a little bit about how he started showing you how much he loves us.
Yeah, and I've talked about this like at earlier speaking engagements, and I think I even mentioned in the book, in other podcasts, is the church is good talking about the gentle side, right? Like he loves you and all these things. And I think the huge problem for that is that's awesome. I hear you say love, but I don't know what love is. Like, I don't know. I started praying. I was like, I don't think I know what love is. And have I been loved? Like you love me? Like what is that? What is love? So I started praying, can you show me your love? Please show me. And dude, I didn't share this with you, and I'll go into it if that's okay.
Yeah.
One night I had a dream, and this was like right in the middle. I was like, I need to understand your love. I need to understand how you view me. And I called in my dream journal, I call it Daddy's Day Out. And excuse me if I get emotional, but it's so beautiful. I was in this forest. It was it gave me like an Eden feel. I've never been to Eden, but it just gave me the feel like it was peaceful.
Yeah.
There wasn't bugs and mosquitoes or cobwebs. It was just nice. The weather was perfect. Probably Montana. It was perfect. And I was just there, and my shirt was off, and it was free. There was no shame. There was no condemnation. It was just nice. It was unearthly. And all of a sudden, all these like antelope, deer, other species like that, like with grace, were just trotting along, hopping, whatever we call that. And they were just like a line, just going right in front of me, beautiful animals. And there was probably maybe 20 or 30 of them, a dozen, I don't know. And as they went, like I looked and I could see that they made this path through this forest. So I walked that path that they took out. And as I walked down, I came to this cliff. And when I got to this cliff, as I got there, there was like floating like canyons. Red Rock in like Utah and like that it was kind of like that, but prettier. Not that that's not pretty. And I was looking at, and there was like, you could see it on the far side. There was like this floating like canyons or whatever it is. And I could see like a skyline, like a city. And it was like the sky went from like a purple to a beautiful blue. And then it slowly went to like this beautiful black and like just stars everywhere. I mean, it was just like breathtaking. Man. I'm like, where is this? And I'm all in my dream here and completely sober and sane. And there was someone else with me, and I couldn't see him, but he knew me, and it was like he was like a safety officer. Like he was just making sure everything's good to go, like running logistics over here. Yeah. Like he knew everything I knew he knew everything about me, but I knew it wasn't Jesus. Like I knew it wasn't Jesus. So it could be some angelic type or some angel or something like that, but that's what I believe it to be. And then I prayed on this many times, and I believe that to be it. And then I just hear a voice, and I couldn't see anything. I just hear a voice, jump. And I jumped.
On those floating canyons.
And I floated, and I just jumped, and as soon as I jumped, I started flying. And I was soaring around. And just soaring, and then now do a circle and go upside down and do a twist and do all these things. And we landed, and there was like this little island, like this little like flat like plateau, and then like it just, you can see the island. We went, and that guy that was with me, or angel, whatever, was with me on that island, just observing, but I could feel the Father looking at me, delighting in me, seeing me, knowing me, and loving me like I've never experienced in any lustful, loving from any family member. Not that this fall, because this is definitely a heavenly love. And I experienced that love that I was praying for. And I was like, it was like all eyes were on me, and my Father was proud of me. Regardless of the crap that I've done, maybe possibly will, like he was loving on me, dude. It was so intense. And I woke up out of that dream and I wanted to go right back to that dream.
Oh yeah. You're like,
I wanted to go right back to that dream. And it led into something else. I got up, and I think I shared this part. I think it was a few nights later, maybe a week or two. And I was, excuse me, I was going to the bathroom, and I just like walked into this like presence of the Holy Spirit. And I was like, and I had to go to the bathroom. So I went to go pee, and then I came back in. I'm like, and it was like 3 a.m. I'm like, we're praying. We're praying. I got like, there's something going on. So I just get on my knees and I start praying. And I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to pray about. And I'm just like, and I just started giving thanks and saying how much I love you. And just saying, I can't believe how much you love me. And, dude, I just felt like this presence was wrapping my body. I mean, my hairs were standing straight. I just felt comfort. And I'm like, you love me this much.
Dang, dude.
You love me this much. I can't wrap my mind around it. Like, I've been missing out when I thought I knew you so well. And this is just this past year. And I'm like, what else is there? And I know the answer. There's so much more. But it kind of took me back to like men. Like we always hear it, it's like you'll see at men's events or whatever it is, men's retreats. Stand firm, act like men, right? Be strong in the faith, stand firm, act like men. I think it is. Yeah. And that's what we'll go with. And there's t-shirts everywhere and bumper stickers and all the things. And it's a tough verse. The verse after it literally says, and do all things in love. So, and we know that one of the reasons Jesus came here was to destroy the works of the devil. The devil is about strife, hate, divide, chaos, rage. That is what the enemy wants to pour. Love beats the heck out of all that, destroys it.
Yeah.
It's hard to be ticked off at somebody when they're sitting there loving you back. You want to see a man that can do that. That's a man. Not getting, putting up a wall, having self-control, understanding that the person that's spitting venom or whatever it is at them is going through struggles just like we all do. Mm-hmm. It's probably not even about them. It could be someone just diagnosed with something. They could have just lost a job, financial troubles, health issues. Could be all these. That is a man with self-control that is feeding the spirit and dying to flesh. That right there is a man, and that is like our goal. That is what we should be going for. But we talk about that armor, right? We put on our armor, our belt, our shoes, our breastplate, the helmet, our sheet of faith, and our sword of the Spirit, which is the Word of God, which is extremely important. I mean, that's actually God's armor that we go back to, I believe, in Isaiah. But I was thinking about this. Like, we preach to other men all the time the importance of putting on our armor. And I'm like, and you love me like that? I feel a lot of times where I feel like I need to go run and put on my armor. I just need you to hug me, dude.
Just the unconditional love.
Yeah, I just like that's all I need for a lot of these little petty schemes that the enemy tries to do to a lot of us is we want to bunker down and like start stacking up the sandbags when we don't stand in who our Father says we are and how our Father views us and how he loves us. That is the most powerful thing that I think I've experienced. And I've seen some darkness and the things and how we can, combat that stuff, but like just resting and knowing how he views us, that was a game changer for me.
Man.
That was a game changer.
Mountain Tough is the fitness app trusted by the dedicated. Mountain Tough ethos is backed by, we've always wanted to be the best in the world at helping our customers become more mentally tough. So inside the Mountain Tough app, you're not only going to find all of our physical training programs, but you're going to find additional training as well so that you can stay sharp physically, mentally, spiritually, and nutritionally. The Mountain Tough app also allows you to train no matter where you are, anytime, anywhere. Additionally, the Mountain Tough app is going to have programs from beginners all the way up to elite athletes. And all of our programming is structured in a way that you can start with no gear at body weight, and you can go all the way up to programming that is full gear. So you can do that in a robust home gym or your local gym. There's no excuse for you not to start today. With Mountain Tough, you can conquer your goals with the ideal program for your lifestyle and schedule. Train with equipment or just your body weight on your phone, tablet, TV, or web browser. Most importantly, Mountain Tough will help you train your mindset so you are always ready for anything life throws your way. Mountain Tough is offering the Mountain Tough podcast listeners an incredible offer. 6 weeks free on the Mountain Tough app. All you need to do is use the code MTNPOD to redeem your 6 weeks of training. That'll be a 14-day free trial plus a whole additional 4 weeks of training. Just go to mountaintough.com and enter code MTNPOD for your 6 weeks free on the best-in-class physical and mental training app. That's so big. I mean, it makes me think of really pouring into right-sizing God and downplaying the enemy, which is something that men are generally not great at.
Right.
But what you experienced and what you saw and felt was a good example of just not only understanding God's love, but understanding how big he is and how powerful he is and how almighty he is.
Almighty, there it is.
And that's like another thing we have to be resting in, is that he's so much more powerful than the enemy, but we let the enemy win all the time because we don't rest in that. We don't understand that. But a big part of that for men as well is, I think, like right-sizing God. And by right-sizing who God is, it really downplays who the enemy is and the power that the enemy has. But we also talked about it in the truck. Like if you're a dude out there and you don't even understand that we're in a real spiritual war, that's a major problem, because that would be like playing a game and you don't even understand that you're playing a game. You're going to get blindsided.
That's where we are.
Yeah.
We're blinded.
Dude, you're going to get clobbered if you don't even know you're in a fight and you're in a real legit fight. And I think that's where a lot of American men are. Like they understand a little bit of Christian principles, but they don't understand that we're in a 24/7 spiritual war with a dude that's been fighting this war for a long time, that has a lot of tactics, and he knows the exact tactic he's going to deploy on us individually based on who we are and the things that we fall for. So it'd be like if you're hunting an elk and you write a huge plan, an op plan on how you're going to take that elk down. That's what the enemy's doing to us, but he's doing it 24/7. The Bible tells us he's prowling around us day and night like a lion, ready to devour. Like if I knew there was a lion outside this gym when we walk out tonight, like I'm going to act a little different than if I act like there's no lion at all.
For sure.
And so I think that the love resting in our identity, that we are sons of the most powerful thing ever, but then also understanding that because of that, we are in a real spiritual war. both of those things kind of reconciled together is helpful in our walk.
For sure. And I think like what you just eloquently said needs to be discussed more. You got to know the landscape. You got to know the landscape. It's like you and I walk out of this room and there's 4 gunmen out there start shooting at us. That is kind of how the world is doing things. It'd be a little bit different if there's 4 guys out there with guns, but we have an armory and we're going to get our guns as well, and now we're going to go out with a plan.
Exactly.
It's a little different.
Mm-hmm.
And we have the biggest gun on the battlefield, so you will win as long as your eyes remain on Christ. They have got to remain the focus because the enemy wants to get you off. They want you to swipe the little tactics, little gnats.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying they don't have, it can not be bites, but that's like, that goes back to like our sin. Like, dude, we should be living as righteously as possible. And the Lord knows where we are. It's just like, okay, help me figure this out. And the Holy Spirit will guide you. Like, hey, we don't hang out with that person anymore. Here's why. Mm-hmm. And we already know this stuff. Chances are. And a lot of it, and this is like, my wife and I were just talking about this. A lot of this has nothing to do with darkness at all. It's our flesh.
Yeah.
I need, I have to. And we're just blending in with the world.
Yeah, I think that's accurate. You can feel some spiritual attacks, especially when it gets in your head with like deception, or he gets in your head with shame. Mm-hmm. But man, a big part of every day is just the selfishness in our flesh.
Yeah. And that was going back to like, we were talking about getting the kids, and it wasn't on me anymore. It wasn't my experiences or getting more schools to be a better operator. I had to start serving my children. And that was, I think, probably the first time I started to do that. And that's why Jesus came here too, is to serve others. And that's what he's like, hey, serve other people. And we're missing that. It's always about me. And I can fall into it. Like, okay, how do I feel about this situation? Okay, quiet. How does your family feel about the situation, or your colleague, or whatever it may be? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's easy to fall back into that because we have a society that breeds that. What's best for you? What's going to make you feel good right now as we dig your hole deeper?
Yeah. And it's the thing that made me think of as you were speaking about that is just, it is literally around us 24/7 too. So no matter what hobby you're into, 24/7, yep. It's better gear, more expensive gear, better trucks, nicer trucks, bigger trucks.
Behind enemy lines, bro.
Dude, it's just like, you have to be so intentional to stay away from it.
That's why it's like, in all things, seek him. What do you say about this? What do you say about this? What do you say about this? Mm-hmm. And get that guidance. And some of it we know better. A lot of it we know better.
Yeah.
I probably shouldn't drink and then go get in my car, right?
Mm-hmm.
We know better on a lot of things.
And your wife went through a major spiritual transformation about the same time.
Yeah. I would say that like things started changing. It was weird, man. Like, dude, when I say it's weird, I people just wouldn't believe the things that happened in our house. I told you some of it. But she started like seeing crosses everywhere. She's like, I keep seeing crosses everywhere. And I'm like, well, that's cool. Like, I literally like, well, that's cool. And then like move on with my life. And she kept saying it. I'm like, babe, like, she's trying to get your attention. Like, nah, it's just one of those things, like coincidence, right? I'm like, babe. And it just kept happening. And like, there was one time I went up to my parents up in Cincinnati a couple years ago. And my wife took a picture. And it was me with a couple of the kids. And right behind us, there is this one tree in the creek with like another, I don't even know how it worked, but it made this like perfectly like a perfect cross
Out of two trees.
It was just weird.
Yeah.
And someone would be like, well, of course you can. But, and like, so we looked at it, we were going back through and she's like, do you see this? I'm like, yeah. And she's like, okay, so we need to dive in. And that's when we really started diving in and just like things started manifesting, things started happening because we knew that he wanted to, we were supposed to serve him in a specific way, in a ministry type way. And again, what that was, I didn't know at the time. Which is just weird to say still, like ministry, Eddie, what, who?
It's crazy.
It is nuts. But like, I get like when people are afraid to step out because of fear, like I get it, dude. Like I had to, what I preach, man, is like, you got to take you out of the equation. You got to plug him in. It's through him. It's him through you. Like, that's the way it works.
Think about all the dudes in the Bible too, man. Just like warriors that had a lot of sin in their previous life and they get wrecked and then just spend the rest of their life spreading the gospel.
Purpose.
A lot of broken people.
God's will, man.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. A lot of guys don't know what God's will is for their life because they never asked. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people will be like, well, I'm not going to ask. Okay. Why? Because the enemy's playing on you right now? Because you have doubt? I mean, that stuff is real, and like faith, belief, that's what it is. And we question, why don't ever have this happen or what he did? Like, it's not about him or her. You're unique to him, and the only way you figure that out is with him. And to do that, you've got to seek him. And if that means it's like you tell someone, this is how fleshly we are. If I tell this to anyone, hey, dude, we're going to do a little scavenger hunt. You might have to jump in the ring with a UFC fighter, do some crazy stuff. But at the end of it, $5 million. You want to do it? Everyone's going to be like, duh. So they'll do that. And they won't quit. Chances are they're not going to quit. But you start talking about the Lord and what he will, not may, will do. After 4 seconds, they're like, yeah, this isn't for me. Oh, it's not for you because you and I were created by the same person. It was the same God.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, but that's how fooled we are.
Yeah.
I mean, we're told we are blinded by the enemy to see the glory of Christ. We're told this. We are blinded. And until those scales fall off, and there's story after story after story after story in the Bible, which is all one big story and they're just events, it happens. Mm-hmm. Because why? Because it's happening today. It's going to happen tomorrow. It's like, okay, cool. Who do you want to serve? Because you have a choice. Yeah. Even if you think you don't have a choice, you're choosing not to choose is you choosing.
It's a choice.
Yes.
Yeah.
And people don't get that, and they're gonna get it. And I pray that it happens now, today.
For sure.
And their life will change for the better.
With where you came from and that culture, the type A, hard charging, performance culture. Do you still struggle with your identity in Christ, but also like earning, or has he broke some of that in you?
Just got some chilies on that one. That's good, dude. That's a really good question. And I gotta answer honestly, obviously, because he knows better. Is I found myself, and this was before my break, I found myself performance, almost like religious spirit kind of taking over, is like I wasn't allowed to mess up because I'm like talking to guys about the Lord, so I can't be that hypocrite. And I was trying my best and to do all the things, and I wasn't like doing dumb things, but I would have bad thoughts. And I would have to take them to Christ. I'm like, why am I having this? Or why am I still struggling with this over here? Or why can't I, why am I still kind of going to anger in saying this to my wife when I don't want to? You know what I mean? And I finally, and I believe, I know it's in Romans. I can't remember what verse it is. But it's like, and even Jesus says it. He's like, why do you call me good? Not one of us is good Only God is good. We're all sinners. None of us are perfect. If you were perfect, you would be Christ. You're not.
None of us.
You're not.
Yeah.
So I was trying to hold myself to a standard, and I'm like, and it was exhausting. Like, it was exhausting. And I was like, I had to ask for forgiveness. I was like, I'm so sorry. And my heart was in the right place, which he knows. I was like, I'm so sorry that I was doing performance. I was like, religion was taken over, and I had to apologize and ask for forgiveness. And it was given, but I'm like, it's such a relief now. Like, shoot, I shouldn't have, what, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's totally changed. But yes, I did fall into that performance base thing, and I didn't even realize it until he showed me. And that's one thing good. I think it's, I always go to Psalm 139 at the very end. It says, search me, O God, and know my heart, know my anxious thoughts. Point out anything in me that offends you. It's like, show me, not how I view me, how you view me. Because my whole mission is to try to get in as best alignment I can with the Lord and with kingdom. And for him to show me, like, we got this going on, and the Holy Spirit does what the Holy Spirit does. It convicts, it doesn't condemn, and shows us, and we work through it. All right, on to the next. Because you're not perfect. We were born into a world of sin. Like that, we are in the fallen world, battlefield, like an enemy, like all the things that we've talked about. You've got to understand that, and you're broken. Christ Jesus was the only one that came that did not have sin and did not sin. We don't even know what that is. We honestly can't even fathom it.
Yeah, so far from that.
I wouldn't even know what do you do? Yeah. What do I do with my hands?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And when I realized that, it was just, I gotta find, I feel like it might be like Romans 3 or something, or Romans 8 maybe. I don't know. I gotta find it now. But it was, I'm sure guys will comment hopefully. But dude, it like changed everything. And I've read that verse, I don't know how many times. And it just like the power of the word. The power of the word will just crack you open and like expose the darkness, clean it up, and we move on. We don't need to dwell in it. We got bigger and better things to do. The enemy wants to keep you there, wants you to keep you in the condemnation, wants to keep you in the shame, the guilt. You suck. You're never going to be like this. You'll always be like this over here. That's the voice of the enemy. And you got to shut it down. All that is a gnat they got to flick off when you got the love of the Lord.
Yeah, the love
so
reconciles
nuts,
everything.
Bro.
Yeah.
I don't even need to go to the armory. It's like my dad's got me.
Yeah.
Like it just changes everything because it's all here. It's all the thoughts. It's all the thoughts.
I know you got to be like traffic control, air traffic control on those thoughts, man.
For sure.
They're coming in. You have to know which ones to just shut down. Like, hey, land at a different airport.
Yep.
Like, you're not landing here right now.
Shoot a stinger at you and shoot you down.
Yeah. The thought life can just hammer us, man.
For sure. I mean, we're a product of our thoughts, right? Our thoughts turns into our actions and with all that stuff.
Yeah, and the enemy loves playing in that zone.
That's how they get us. I mean, just a whisper. Just a whisper. Just a seed. Let's see what they do. And let's watch. I mean, a lot of times, though, our flesh, they're just sitting back, chowing down on popcorn, watch us be idiots. Like, we don't do anything with this guy.
So what do you feel like is on the horizon for you now?
I think for now, like in the season that I'm going into is a lot of like men's events, going to speak at churches, do podcast style talking, Q&A. Just I think it's more real than getting up and doing like a keynote. Not that there's anything wrong with that because there's a time and a place for it for sure. Just like that, and start training guys up, man, and to be a spiritual leader and to walk in that into their house. Because, you know, we get the dad taken out. It takes out mom. It takes out the kids. And a lot of these things are just like they're false beliefs. Like it's not real. I mean, it's real to the person. And you know, we can both be like, yeah, that's like real. But it's like a lot of it's like just false beliefs, bad attitudes, wrongful desires, self-erected stronghold thinking that we must demolish, which is so important. Lord, search me. What is happening?
Show me.
Not them, you. And if you're doing what you're doing, you're good up and down. It doesn't matter what your circumstances around you. You're going to be in a fallen world. It rains on the just and the unjust alike. It doesn't matter. But it's how are you reacting? Are you showing love? Are you spitting fire on fire? Because it's not going to go out if you spit fire on fire.
Yeah.
Do you have self-control or not? And that's hard. Like, it's hard to have self-control when a person, like a spouse or a child, says this or does that, and we feel disrespected, especially men disrespected, not loved. We don't want to put that tag on it, but that's what it comes down to. It goes back to that world we live in. Oh, this is the way we act. We're tough. We're men. We don't know what a man is in this world.
I know. Yeah, you think about the fruit of the Spirit, the gentleness, patience, love.
Yeah. Long suffering.
Yeah. Bring that in when you're just in a major fight with your wife.
Yeah.
And can you put the fruit on in those moments?
That's when you know you're walking with the Spirit. And that's a good metric, see how you're doing. And you're going to mess up. Okay, so what do we do when we mess up? I'm sorry. I am so sorry that I did this. I should not have said that. And you take ownership. And we work on that. We seek the Lord again. Hey, what's going on here? Is there something generational? Is something that I'm not seeing? Is it the shows I'm watching? Is it the people I'm hanging out with? What's going on? And then you just get better. And a lot of guys, which I learned, is the Lord will deliver you from things and free you from certain things. I remember I would always get in with my wife. My wife and I, we would get an argument. I hate saying the word argument because there was nothing to be arguing about. Nothing happened. You're with me. Nothing happened, but to her it did, right? It might have been an eye roll or a sigh or just Eddie's default, or you know what I'm saying? And then it turns into something, and then I'm getting defensive and I'm saying maybe this or pointing out something over here. And what do we do? And I remember the first time, and I was like, what am I doing wrong? And I just heard the Holy Spirit, you're doing the same thing. You're doing the same thing. You're giving into your flesh. And I remember the next time it came up again. And I wasn't wrong for anything. Not that I'm perfect. And I remember said, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. And I just said, I'm so sorry that, and she's like, bro.
Boom.
It looked like my wife is not a robot. It looked like my wife was a robot and someone took water, poured it over her, and she short circuited. But it was the enemy. It was the enemy.
Yeah.
It was they didn't know what to do with it because I wasn't fighting fire with fire. I was meeting her with love. It didn't matter. It doesn't matter if I was right or wrong. That doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
It's you have a choice. Do you want to stop it and just be okay, because what happens is afterwards when the smoke clears, I'm sorry. It's so much better to receive the I'm sorry than to give the I'm sorry. And I remember seeing that. I was like, dang. Shut up. I'm like, that's it? And it's yeah, I've been telling you that for I don't know how many years.
Dude.
And so, and not that I have a perfect track record, but now I'm really good about I understand. I'm sorry. And then of course it's is that all you got to say? I'm okay. So now we right. But I'll never forget that I was whoa.
You just jolted the system.
Just because I changed my tactic. What is it? We do the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. We have insanity.
The definition of insanity.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's what I was doing.
You're just I'll just escalate this.
Yeah, because I'm not wrong. I did nothing wrong. My tone's going up, my voice, I'm using hands.
Yeah.
Right? It was nuts.
Dude.
It was nuts.
How have you been thinking about changing the perspective on getting the Lord in front of your children in a real authentic way as they're starting to mature?
Yeah, so that's like, and I'm sure probably every parent can probably. We have some like one child of ours in the house. I mean, actually, it's so funny. Just the Lord does work. Like I'm starting to do Bible study with my 2 older girls that are out of the house right now. They like asked me if I would. I'm like, what? It's just so amazing cool. Because what we like, oh, well, that's not a big deal. Like people would say that. And I would say the same thing. But what we don't realize we're doing is we're changing generations. So now my daughters are like in their low 20s learning about the Lord. I was in my like high 30s learning about the Lord. And now they're going to be teaching their kids who are just like learning to walk. And that's like what we're told to do is leave an inheritance for your kids.
Generational
impact. Spiritual inheritance for your children. So yeah, we're like doing what we do. Like, you know, we pray and try to bring it in, like obviously church and talk about certain things. And and I'll on the spot teach all the time. I'm like, hey dude, so that's like what your flesh looks like. And if they get aroused, I'm like, that's also what your flesh looks like. And I'm like, hey, so we'll talk about like the fruit of the Spirit. Like, here's what it looks like. And, you know, just kind of do. But we have one son who's very gifted, our youngest. And he just draws things. He's got some gifts of some sight and hearing. And it's pretty cool. Like he's corrected us before. My wife and I have been watching a movie that we probably shouldn't have been watching, like a scarier one or something like that. And he literally comes up and just turns off the TV. He's like, you shouldn't be watching that.
Dang.
And I was like, we're convicted. And we're like, Roger that.
That's cool.
And like, just like things like that. He's got a gift.
Yeah.
Like the Lord's going to use him. Not that they're not going to use our other children, but there's definitely a special like anointing on him for sure. It's really cool to see.
That's really cool.
It's really cool to see, man. It's like, but yeah, for sure. Yeah. We gotta, like, we have to. And a lot of times I don't know how to tackle it. Like what's happening right now. And I do what, you know, like, okay, Lord, like, what do I do? I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
I don't know how. My prayers often start, I don't know what to do.
If we just prayed that all day, every day, like, I don't know what to do. Show me what to do.
Show me. I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. But then obviously, right, what is everything like? What did Paul always said this in the Bible is like, do what I do. Like, look at me. Because he was walking it out. He wasn't just yapping. He was actually walking it out. You'll know them by their fruit. Like your fruit, like your example, your actions shows your faith. And if people would just take that one thing, okay, cool. What are my actions? Where am I going? Who am I hanging out with? What am I doing? What am I consuming? Okay, cool. Is it aligning or is it not? And if it's not like you suck, your game's over. It's just like, hey, you have a choice to make. You want to better yourself and your family, or just continue going down on the road that you think is better and what the world tells you is the way it is. Because the devil owns the world. Doesn't own it, but he influences it. And that influence does not have power over us for those who truly believe and walk. They don't.
Yeah.
They don't. It feels like it at times, but it doesn't. It doesn't.
So good, man. Well, man, I'm so grateful you made it out here.
Yeah, man.
It's been cool how you wound up making it out here.
It was cool. That was cool.
Crazy God deal. So
yeah.
So Nate from Mountain Tough's mom heard Eddie on Sean Ryan and was like, man, I gotta send my book to this guy. So Nate's mom has a book that she wrote, so she sent it to Eddie. And then when Eddie got the invite for the Mountain Tough podcast, he had already received that book and was like, man, this cool lady from Montana.
I think I received the email first, and I remember the all caps MTN, you know, Tough.
Yeah.
And I was like I told you, I was like, that's really cool. Like, cause I do Unafraid all caps as well. Just like, I don't know, maybe it's like something in the water. And then, so she sent that and I was like, man, I I think I should be doing this podcast. And then there's like, I know you offered remote and in person. I'm like, dude, I told my wife, I'm like, I'm supposed to go out there. Like, I really believe I'm supposed to go out there. And she's like, all right, well, got to listen.
God's just so cool, man.
I was like, I'm going.
Yeah.
So just worked out.
It's so cool.
It was very cool. You guys, by the way, dude, I was not expecting the operation you guys have here. It is like very impressive, just like with all the, like with the app stuff and the training and the workouts and like just, it's really cool, dude. It's very professional. It's very cool. Like much respect. Like it's really awesome to see, man. So like, great job to you guys, dude.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Mountain Tough's always felt just God breathed, and then we just have such an amazing team too. Our team's incredible.
Yeah, they seem awesome.
And you got to experience the Woodsman games. That was cool.
Oh my gosh, dude, that is too much. I wonder how much he's going to show. Hopefully, just the good shots, the slingshot, and
that was fun.
Yeah, that was. I was not expecting that. I was like, all right, we're going to shoot some head plates, some pistols, maybe some, some long barrel, and then that'd be it. But dude, I was like, what's going on? What are we doing? I'm like, and then he set up that foam clay pigeon.
Yeah, archery, like foam disc thrower.
I was like, bro, I've never seen this in my life. This is awesome. That was so much fun.
That thing is addicting.
Yeah, we could be out there still.
Oh yeah,
and I'd be okay with it.
That was so fun.
That was good. Your daughter she was getting it. She was getting it.
Homeschool, man.
Yep.
You
there you go.
Get to do cool things.
Yep.
It's awesome.
It was awesome.
Well, I appreciate you, man. Thanks for coming out.
No, man. I thank you for having me. I really do appreciate it.
I love what you're doing too. We gotta
likewise
do everything we can for men. I mean, that's a big focus of mine, and it's like, let's rally together. Let's be unafraid. Let's do some things for the kingdom.
Yep, we have to. I would say we don't have a choice, but we have a choice. But I want to be I don't have a choice. I'm serving, and that's okay with me. That's like, I'm here. I'm here for it.
Love it.
It is beautiful.
Thanks, man.
All right, buddy. Thank you.
What a phenomenal conversation with Eddie. As you know, every single Mountain Tough show, we look for that golden nugget from each episode. What can we take away from this conversation? What can we apply to our lives right away? That practical approach of mental toughness, doing things that we learn immediately, consistently, so that they stick. The big golden nugget for me from this conversation with Eddie was definitely when he talked about the man before his salvation is dead, and how different that man was compared to the man he is now. So think about your spiritual walk. Think about where you are. Think about your relationship with Jesus Christ and the difference between being born again and not born again. Eddie did a phenomenal job articulating how much different he is, that he even refers to his prior self as dead. That man is dead. That's a big golden nugget. Definitely the same thing happened with me in my life, a big part of my testimony as well. Thanks for being here, guys. Love you. We'll see you on the next episode. And if you haven't checked us out on YouTube yet, make sure you do that. Tons of great Mountain Tough content at Mountain Tough Fitness. We also have this podcast at the Mountain Tough Podcast on YouTube. Give us a like, give us a follow. We love hearing from you guys, love your feedback, and we'll see you on the next episode.